Thanks, Hexy. We're back at Manassas, back at Bull Run again, and you know what? I blew through this game today. I played I think a turn last night, late before I went to bed, and I got up today and played half of it earlier, and then finished it off today. So it's 9 game turns. Starts at the 0900 turn and ends at 1900. All right. I had a bunch more little markers on the board for the victory locations they weren't necessary. I must have got them mixed up with the second day's fight because they have them on the sides of the map here. They have the little things, but apparently these don't apply to the first battle. So I think there's one or two that does. All right, so anyhow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 9 victory locations, and then victory points for eliminated units and victory points for units that are called routed on the map, which are the units that are in the recovery or withdrawal boxes. That's what I guess on the map means. So, but that is what on the map means. Some of the terminology and the rules when you're playing the Glory 1 box using the Glory 3 rules, you got to rattle them around in your brain just a little bit. So, all right. So this thing actually kind of went back and forth. Henry House Hill, it was threatened only. Nobody ever got there. All right, nobody got to none of the Union got to Henry House. They did take the Stone Bridge crossings. They did get across the ford here, but Early came up when his infantry finally came on the board, and the remaining part, like Bartow and Kershaw, these guys, once fighting settled down over here on the ridge, over here on Matthews Hill, they were able to shift and go that way, and they pushed. Once Sherman finally got across, when he broke this unit out of here, they went over and pushed Sherman back, and Sherman ended up getting getting one of his units knocked off the map into the route. They got routed on the map. Once Keyes got across the Stone Bridge over there, they were good to go. They never had to worry about giving that back up again. Although if this were to go maybe 2 more turns, they might give it back. The Stone House did change hands during the game, and then eventually changed back to the Confederates. And the final scare came from Heintzelman. Once he had all his units on the map, he has a pretty decent force. And I noticed that a lot of these Union regiments or Union units have stronger cohesions than the Confederate ones do. Beginning of the war, okay? But when Heintzelman had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of all 6 units on the board, he actually pushed across the ridge here, across Dogan Ridge or Matthews Hill, and he actually had early in the game. He was the one that took Stonehouse, but then he didn't have all his units on the board. Then Hunter was doing a decent job, but Heintzelman, when he got everything here, he got over top of that ridge and he was driving and pushing the Confederates back. He actually had all of Jackson's units in a disrupted state. As a matter of fact, if you look here, you'll only see Jackson only has 1 combat unit on the map because 2 of them are sitting over there in the withdrawal and recovery boxes. But Heintzelman, after 1 successful attack, he ended up getting a unit that advanced, that got cut off, and it cost him. And then from that point on, Hunter had lost too much. Hunter's got 2 artillery units and an infantry unit that's completely eliminated. And Heintzelman's, both of his batteries, they didn't really have any choice once Hunter's force was pretty much decimated. So Hunter's got 3 units over there in the eliminated. He's got 2 in the recovery. He did get 1 to come back on, but it was his lowest cohesion unit right here with a cohesion of 2. So once Hunter was pretty much decimated, Heintzelman couldn't deal with B and Jackson and Evans and Cook's units that were over here. That was too much for them. And the Confederates drove back up on Dogan Ridge and Matthews Hill and pretty much drove Heintzelman out and fairly decimated him towards the end of the game right there. So they tried 1 more little surge to no avail. Just enough Confederate artillery sitting back there that, let me take it back. So if you have artillery in a hex with an infantry or cavalry unit and they defensive fire, they're going to get a bonus. If you have 2 artillery units stacked together doing artillery fire, they're going to get a +2 DRM. to whatever the normal stuff is. So, but it's funny because Jackson's battery sitting right here, he may have hit once or twice, or 2 stacks of guns sitting right there, because you got to roll 9 or better to do anything. So it's tough. Okay, since you're not losing strength points by one number at a time or 50 or 100 men, it's just disruption or withdrawal or disruption, withdrawal, elimination. So having to roll high, I guess, sort of demonstrates, that not making it so easy to completely eliminate units. Because let me tell you, it was not easy. You either had to get something trapped where they couldn't retreat, or you had to get, that second disruption on them and get them off the map, and then hope that they didn't roll a good cohesion roll to come back on. As far as eliminated units, there's 5 artillery pieces over there because they get eliminated pretty easy if they get caught alone. And there's only 1 infantry unit from Porter, Hunter's division, that's eliminated. All the rest are in withdrawal or recovery. So, so here, since I don't have any charts, that was withdrawal, that was recovery. So they get withdrawn at the end of the turn during recovery. They move from withdrawal to recovery. At the end of the next turn during recovery, you get to roll against their cohesion and bring them back on. If they fail that cohesion roll, they're eliminated. Okay? Artillery is the only thing on the board that can be just eliminated straight off the board. They do not go to the withdrawal box. They are eliminated right off the bat. So, all right. So here's how it ended. At 7 o'clock at night. Here's the numbers right here. So I went through all 9 victory conditions. All right, and then units that they eliminated. So the Union only eliminated 2 Confederate units, which were they eliminated an artillery unit, so that was 2 points. The Confederates eliminated 5, so that was 10 points. In the recovery box, the Confederacy has 2, and the Union has 8. So it became 22-6 Confederate victory. First Manassas was a victory for the Confederacy. Anyhow, they didn't push it after that, but they also didn't lose. The Union never had to run back across the bridge, never got that far. Although it looks like with this mass of Confederates that were driving here, they were probably going to. You play these games, a lot of it is die roll. If you're just rolling bad, things aren't going to go your way. For a while there, the Union was rolling great, and then it's like it shifted, and I'd never changed die. I muddled my way through no matter how bad or how good it was for either side. So, but if you pull back from the map, you can see the victory locations. All right, the Stone Bridge, Sudley Crossing up here, Sudley Springs up here. All right, the Confederates, Henry House Hill, the Stone House, the intersection down here near the Smith House and New Market. All right, now that's not the New Market in the valley. Okay, they own an entry hex down there, which I guess would be headed to Manassas Station. All right, and there you have it. Confederate victory in the First Battle of Bull Run from the Glory System, Richard Byrd game, GMT Games. It's sexy. Let's get this one posted so y'all can see the outcome. Talk to you soon.